Today's webinar is our masterclass, 5 strategies to consistently stay booked out with me, Erin Pratt. I know most of you, but some of you are new here. In this masterclass, you will learn 5 strategies you can use to create a business that is consistently booked with clients, even if you don't have an audience, a large following, or any following at all. We're going to talk about strategies to also build your audience. So as I mentioned, if you can stay until the end, that would be ideal. I am hosting a live Q&A. And also, if you could just shut off any distractions and stay fully present with us here, I will appreciate that. And then at the end of this masterclass, I will be extending an invitation to join my online course with a discounted offer for these attendees. There's some bonuses for just the attendees here. And I'm very excited to share about that. So I don't want to do a bait and switch. There's going to be a lot of value in this free class here, but at the end, I will be promoting something that I've been working on for a long time, which I'm excited about. So first, I want to get to know you. So in the chat, I'd love for you to put the numbers 1, 2, or 3. So if you're an aspiring business owner, this means you don't have a business launched yet, but you might have an idea of what you want to launch but haven't launched, or maybe you don't have an idea, but you know you want to be an entrepreneur. So put 1 in the chat. If you're a new business owner within the first year of business and you might be looking for guidance on how to book more clients or create a more profitable business to scale, put 2. And then if you're a 3, you're a business owner with over a year of experience, and you might be here just to learn more strategies on how to book the right clients and how to grow faster. Okay, so let me see if I could pull up the chat. Okay, here we go. All right, so we have 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. Awesome. Good breakdown, mostly 2s and 3s here, but this is going to be applicable to everybody. If you're a 1 and you haven't started yet, you're just going to get this information that's so valuable to start off the right way. If you're a 2, this is like truly going to be special for you as you're just launching, getting your feet, underneath you in your first year. And then these strategies apply to people who are many years in business. There's always new things you can learn and continue to grow with the right, the right strategies to use. So that just helps me kind of gauge where you guys are at. So I'm Erin. I think most of you know me on here, but I have 10 years of experience in website design. I officially launched my business in website design a year ago, but I have experience in a variety of platforms: WordPress, Wix, Squarespace, and Showit. This is primarily what I do now. Before that, I was working for over a decade in the corporate world. So I was doing social media and marketing, which gave me a lot of skill sets. I do not regret my time in corporate. I learned so much to allow me to run the successful business I run today. I'm a mom to 2 little girls. They are just like the joy in my life, and they're a big reason why I started this business. I named it after their middle names, and they are just a constant source of inspiration for me. I am based in Charleston. My background, I loved traveling. I was an aspiring travel blogger, and it gave me a lot of the experience I use today with growing an audience and creating content of value for people. And so I traveled to 18 countries in the span of a couple years, and I still love travel. I also was certified in yoga and meditation and used to teach yoga. I held moon circles for women. I love my connection to wellness and spirituality in the ways that I've found it over the years through yoga and meditation. And I bring in a lot of what I learned there to, especially if my clients can even attest, websites can be stressful, a source of frustration for people. And I try to bring feelings of peace and comfort and ease into the experience my clients have working with me. I also, for a while, thought I was going to be a teacher and follow in some of my family's footsteps. So I got a master's in education with an intent to teach earth science to high schoolers. So you can see my interests are very diverse. And if anyone's interested in human design, I highly recommend you look up your human design type if you haven't already. I know, Marissa, you and I spoke about this. Feel free to drop in if you know your human design type, and then also your astrological signs. I think it's just fun to connect with people on different levels. So I'm a projector, Taurus sun, Capricorn moon, and Sagittarius rising. I can't help myself. I'm an old yoga teacher. Okay, so a little bit more about me. Got a generator in Pisces. I booked 44 clients in my first year of business with no real money spent on marketing. These clients were primarily website and brand clients. So I was averaging about 4 a month. It was quite a lot. And I was consistently booked since the first month of business that I launched. My average work week is about 16 hours a week. I primarily take care of my girls. I'm thankful for childcare that I have through my family to allow me to run this business. But it is about 16 hours a week that I work, give or take. But I want to preface this by saying I'm not one of those people who's like, I launched on day one and everything fell into place and it was just pure magic. And oh my goodness, follow my success exactly from only this year that I've been in business. I have been trying to be an entrepreneur since 2011. And I mean, I have been an entrepreneur since 2011, but the businesses that I tried to start and then moved on from, I learned something from each of them, starting with travel blogging. I was in my early 20s. I wanted to be paid to travel the world. So I was creating thousands of blog posts, free content, reaching out for sponsorships and deals with hotels. And I was really learning a lot. I invested in courses on how to be a travel blogger. I really went down that path, but I realized it wasn't the right path for me. So I moved into yoga and wellness and did a lot there. But again, things changed, things hit. I learned from that experience. I got pregnant with my girls and I just continued moving on. I opened a crystal shop. I tried to do motherhood coaching for a while and opened up this whole app and network to connect new moms during the pandemic. So I've had a lot of experience over the last 10 years. And then finally, I committed to launching a business. I quit all my jobs. I always had a full-time job in the background, but I made the cut. I said, you know what? I'm never going to get there if I don't just make space for this business. So I officially launched Ivy Lynn Studio, cut all my ties to the corporate world. And I've learned so much from my past history and finally found success. My manager fired me. So that's how I started my business. Life, I think it just all happens the way it's supposed to. You have to create space for you to be able to fill that with success. In my first business, just a few fun facts is that I was featured as a guest on 2 podcasts. One was a pretty big podcast, published in a local magazine. And then I was also published in a children's book for my designs. So that was really exciting. I was able to match my highest paying corporate salary. The job that I left right to start Ivy Lynn Studio, it was a hard decision to leave because it was the highest paying salary I'd ever earned. But I matched it in a year, working just 16 hours a week. And my corporate salary was a full-time 40+ hour a week job. So it's just motivation. I think one of the best ways you can make money for yourself is either opening your own business or going into real estate. And it's the income potential is so exponential. So I want to share the strategies I use to help you earn more money in your business and book the right clients. All right, I'm just going to give myself a break for just a second. All right, so let's explore the 5 strategies you can use to book more clients in your business. So first, we have to start off. You can't just book more clients if you don't have something that people want to buy and or pay for a service. So you have to have an irresistible offer. And you need to consider a few things. You might already have this down. I know some of you are very experienced, but it is always good to refresh yourself. What do people most come to you for, to ask for your help? What do you enjoy doing? And then considering if there is a market for this. So if you have this, thing you love doing, but nobody's asking you for help, you probably haven't built up enough of a reputation around that thing. Reputation is so critical to booking clients. So you have to be seen as somebody who is really invested in this topic of whatever it is you're trying to market or sell for yourself. And you don't have to be a quote unquote expert with years of experience, but you do have to show in some way how you've gotten results for yourself or others. So think about those things. What do people come to you for? What do you most enjoy doing? And is there a market for this? I had to play around with different business ideas. I have so many passions: yoga, motherhood, coaching other moms, traveling. And I was like, okay, which part of these passions am I going to pursue? Because you can't be too broad. My first website, I was like, I could book you a trip. I could teach you yoga, or I could build you a website. It's like, no. You have to be known for one thing. When you're just starting out, you need to really get hyper focused on the one thing you want to be known for. And then when you start growing a big audience, you can start adding in more things. You can start talking about more things because people will have already trusted your reputation. And again, you don't need to be an expert. You could just be starting out, but you need to have had results for some way, either for yourself or for others. And you just have to be a little bit ahead of the person that you're trying to reach. So I talk a lot in my course, which I'll talk about later, about finding your ideal client. And I think it's most successful to think of your past version of yourself as your ideal client when you're just starting out. How can you help the person who was in your shoes a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and provide that roadmap to help them get to where they need to be? And then pricing is a big one. Now I know there's some realtors, there's a realtor on here, so this isn't as applicable to you, but if you are pricing yourself for some sort of offer, product, service you're offering, you really have to consider the value you're offering and not just the time investment. I made this mistake for many years. Oh, it only takes me 20 minutes to do that. So I'm either going to not charge the person or, I'm going to charge them a really low amount. But you have to consider the value. Just because it comes naturally and easy to you, you're offering a lot of value. So think about what they are getting from your service, your product, and then also consider your experience. So when you're just starting out, you might be on the lower end of things, right? Because you need to start building that portfolio, building trust, building client testimonials. When I first started, I offered my first 3 clients 50% off a website because I needed more experience. And in order to draw people in and trust me, I had to give them an incentive. So you might start with offering a really good deal or a free deal, right? Just to start building that portfolio. You might do something for free in exchange for a testimonial, but don't stay there and don't undervalue yourself. Really start building up that portfolio and the clients that you've worked with and that reputation again. And another thing here that I love to talk about is do not underestimate the value of being just extremely compassionate, kind, and going, above and beyond for your clients. This is applicable really in the beginning, but even more than that. I think one of the biggest assets I have is just who I am. And I know for you guys, the biggest edge you have over other people in your industry is who you are. You are going to attract the right kind of clients to you because of just who you are. So don't be afraid to be unique, be yourself, talk about the weird things that you love. You need to start building that audience of dream clients around you. They're going to be drawn to you if you're not trying to, match everybody else and put that human element behind the business. I think it's so important. And people want to see that in today's day and age. They don't want to see a faceless agency. They want to see you and they want to work with you. So just a few things to keep in mind as you start crafting those offers. This is a really important one. So creating free, valuable content, I think, is applicable at any stage of business you're at. Let me just have a sip. So this is applicable when you're just getting started for sure. But I think in order to be seen with that big reputation and start growing a aligned audience around you and getting known in your industry for what it is you do, you have to offer value to people right off the bat. And this is going to look different for every one of you. So, but value can look like just educating on the topic of whatever it is you are selling in your business, educating people on Instagram, writing valuable blog content. You can offer free PDF guides. You can host webinars or masterclasses like I do. I love doing this in my industry. I just hosted one on the essential things to include on a website to convert visitors to paying clients. I gave a lot away of what I do for my clients in there, but people will be drawn to the free, valuable educational content because you'll start building that reputation. Okay, sorry, thank you for your patience. I just don't want to have overwork my voice here. So creating offers at a range of prices is going to help you meet your audience where they're at. Some people are not ready to buy. They need to be following you for a while. So they say that people need to see something 7 times in order to pull the trigger and bring out their wallet. So I've been doing a lot of promoting on my Instagram, more so than usual the last few weeks, to promote these classes and talk about my course. It's very uncomfortable. It's really hard to sell yourself. But you know what? The big brands out there are not shy of spamming your emails and putting their content out there, and they're getting people to buy. So don't underestimate what you should be able to do with your audience. People are barely paying attention to what's happening around them. But you need to promote yourself and you need to put content out there. So meet your audience where they're at, start putting that free content out there, position yourself as that expert in your industry, and you're going to draw your audience in. And then you're going to get them onto your email list, which we'll talk about next, and you'll start nurturing that audience. The most sales I make are from my email list. Social media draws people into my field. Networking events draws people into my field. I continue to nurture that relationship via email. I put an offer out there occasionally and I get bites on it. Now, growing your audience with email marketing. This is one of my favorite things to talk about. It's what I learned really the most about over my last 10 years. So many people build these businesses around social media or referral, word of mouth referrals. You need to get people's emails. You don't own anything in your business if you don't have people's emails. Social media is rented space and it could shut down tomorrow. Um, I'm going to read the comments here while I sip this. Oh my gosh, Maria. Talking about yourself is so hard, but being vulnerable builds connections. I'm not afraid to say it's uncomfortable to sell yourself, but I'm here doing it anyway, right? I talk all the time about do it scared. Um, so own your audience. Sign up for an email marketing platform if you can today. I love Flowdesk. Um, and you need to own those email addresses. When you're working with people, get those email addresses, get them onto an email list, nurture your list, build the like, no trust factor, introduce yourself. It's more effective than social media. Social media, a fraction of your followers are going to see what you're posting, and they're not really there to get off the app. It's hard to sell on social media specifically because they're there just scrolling. They're in the bathroom, they're in the car, they're not really like ready to take action necessarily. You can promote a lot of stuff on there, but you want to get them off of social media and onto your email list. So offer a freebie. Don't just say I have an email list. I used to make that mistake as a travel blogger, wellness person. Get on my email list. Stay tuned to all the things I'm doing. Nobody cares. Nobody really cares. A few people will go on there. My mom will always be on there, but nobody really cares. You need to offer them something why they need to get on your email list. Offer a free class, offer a free webinar, offer a discount if you're selling products, something to incentivize people to get on the email list. It's what all the big companies do. Go on their website. You'll get 10% off if you sign up, and you do it, right? Like it's worth it. So, and then don't just sell on your email. Offer lots of free value, share stories, connect with your audience, and deliver content to the audience in the right ways. You can segment your audience. If there's a few things you offer in your business, some people might be interested in, there's people who are drawn into me because they want to DIY their own website and they want to learn from me. So I'm going to offer content to them about what you need to put on your website. Other people are like, I don't want to touch my website. You do it. And then I offer, more information about how to work with a website designer. So you can segment your audience here. You guys can put questions in the chat and I'm going to answer those at the end so we can, because I'm recording this, so I'm not going to stop too much, but I appreciate your questions. So keep putting them in the chat and I'll respond to them at the end. The fourth strategy is, you have to have a website and a brand that converts. This might be something that you eventually get to. You can't do everything if you're just getting started. But it is so critical to have a professional online presence. And of course, I'm a website designer, so I have to say this, but it truly is really important to elevate yourself. Now, you don't need a website to run a business. Like, I'm just going to put that out there. I have a cousin who's in the roofing industry, and he has had a successful business down in Miami doing roofing. You can imagine the hurricanes they get there through word of mouth alone. He's been in business for decades, my whole life. And he just recently asked me to build him a website because he's planning on, selling the business and he wants to elevate it and stuff. But what a website could have done for him is automating so much of the process that he's dealing with phone calls of people who want to get in touch with him, right? You're at dinner, you get a phone call. You need a website to be your salesperson 24/7. And you need a brand around that website. It's not just the logo and the colors, it's your story, it's your reputation that's going to draw in the right people to you. So it's going to take work off of your shoulders, right? It's not going to happen right away. But once you have that website in place, you can direct people to reach out to you. You can put calls to action on that website. It's going to be selling for you. Another thing I encourage a lot of my clients to do after working with me is to raise their prices because you just look more professional. People will find you in one way or another, word of mouth, Instagram, most likely. They're going to find you in some way or another, but they're going to eventually check out your website. And that's where they're going to make the determination. Is this person, one, are they legit? Two, do they have like a presence that I'm drawn into? And you learn more about their services and all that. So they're going to make the determination most likely after visiting your website if they want to work with you or not. So you should make your offers crystal clear, make it super easy to get in touch with you. And the branding should be appealing to your ideal client. So think about who you're trying to draw in and build a brand around that. Now, it should be reflective of you as well. But you really think about what is your ideal client going to be drawn into. So you can hire a professional to do it, but I also love Canva if you want to be consistent with yourself. There's people on here that you could talk to about helping you with branding and social media management as well. So feel free to connect with each other. I'm a big fan of outsourcing. Hire people where you lack the skills, hire people who can do that for you and be really good at it. I'm so a fan of doing that. And then the fifth strategy, although I will say I have some bonus strategies as well. So there's a few more. It's just creating an exceptional experience. Once you get your first client, make it the best experience of their life. Make it so that they have to go tell everybody and their mom about working with you. Automating things is a great way to have a good experience. If things are really, if it's a difficult process to give feedback to you, to do the back and forth, this is something I've grown in over the last year, is really incorporating systems into my business. You need to make things easy. You need contracts to be easy. You need any element of working with you to be easy, transparent. They need to know what's going on, what's the next step. You need to have a way of collecting feedback from them, definitely always collecting testimonials, or if it was not a good experience, be really open and honest as to why it wasn't a good experience with them and how you can do better. And people appreciate that so much. And word of mouth and referrals, they are going to be one of your best ways to get business. It's the primary driver of my business now. I did a few things to get my first few clients, which I'll talk about. And then it's been word of mouth and referrals. And then all these other strategies help convert that referral into an actual paying client. So just try to make things as seamless as possible. You might not integrate systems in your business right away. It took me a little while to do that too, but making things automated, easy for them, and transparent about the progress on your work, especially if you're a service provider, just a way of communicating that's going to be seamless for your client. Amanda Smith says, automation makes my heart happy. Feel free to drop in the chat anything you recommend about automation. Okay, bonus strategies. So you can't forget social media. Social media is going to be a huge one, but what I find is I don't make a lot of sales on social media, but I am drawing people into my audience, and they're going to start following me and getting to know me. Another big thing is I join a lot of industry groups on Facebook and LinkedIn, and some are better than others. And some posts are going to flop and you're not going to get any engagement, but occasionally you keep going, you're going to get that post that draws in a ton of people. And so Facebook groups are a great way to start establishing relationships with each other, with other people, with people in your industry. You can get feedback from them. I ask questions when I'm not sure of how to do something and show it. I join Facebook groups. I start building a community there. So it's not a place to go out and fully sell your stuff. I'll talk about that in a minute, but it is a great place to start establishing relationships. And some of those people are going to be turned into clients at some point. So I've met people on Facebook that I start establishing a relationship with, and you get them in the DMs and you start to share more about yourself, and then you can pitch. So look up Facebook groups. For those of you who are in here from Charleston, I love the Charleston Women in Business Facebook group. And also, don't forget to network in person. There's so many networking events here in Charleston, and there's nothing like that in-person connection. I skipped Pinterest, but if you don't see a group you love, start your own. I started my own group here in Charleston, and it is just been one of the best things for my business. We have a small little group of people who comes together. Marissa, that's how I met you. But there's nothing like meeting people in person. Both Marissa and Alyssa, I have two people here I met through my networking group. And there's nothing beats that. So join networking groups, start your own, do both, and just leave a strong impression on people. And again, coming at it, genuinely trying to help people. You have to add value and service before you can sell. Pinterest, I don't personally use Pinterest a ton right now, but I do know from my background in marketing and social media, Pinterest is one of the best ways to drive traffic to your blog. And it's one of the best ways to promote products, freebies, and blog posts. So if you have a really visually based business, or you're selling products, or you have like an Etsy shop or something like that, or you genuinely just want to get more traffic to your blog post or your website, start utilizing Pinterest. Go take a free class. There's so many resources out there to help you with Pinterest. And I know that it can be, for some people, it's the number one driver of clients and traffic to their website. So I can't leave that one off. And then SEO is so important too. If you have a great website, but it's not being seen by people, or you're not coming up when people are searching for something in your area, you want to hire somebody who can help you with SEO. I highly recommend just hiring someone. Don't try to hack it yourself. SEO is so important, and it will really benefit you, especially if you're a locally based business. You also want to get on Google Business page. You're missing out on clients. Your competitors are, snacking your clients if you're a locally based business or a brick and mortar and you are not on Google Business. So a couple things to keep in mind there. So going back to social media, think about, where does your target audience hang out? where does your ideal client spend time in their, on Facebook or LinkedIn? I'm sorry, my cat is meowing in the background. And again, it's a great way to just kind of do a give and take, give more than you take, but also like if you're struggling with some area of your business, it's a great place to make connections. Um, and get feedback on your stuff. I've also posted stuff that I put together. I'm like, hey, can anyone give me feedback on the sales page? How's it coming across? And then guess what? 3 people are like, oh my God, I want to buy this, So there's a way to make it genuine and help one another. She does sound like a baby. Sometimes it sounds like my kid. So yeah, so go in there. Don't be too salesy, but try to be genuine and just join the community. So this is the post I put up when I first launched. And I will say there is some salesiness to the end of this, but I had just launched. I don't think I had officially launched yet. I had just put in my 2 weeks notice, and I just want to share the post in case it's helpful for anybody here. You don't have to have just launched. You could just go join a new Facebook group and introduce yourself. And I basically was saying, I won't read the whole thing, but I have some exciting news after working in corporate since 2012. I put in my 2 weeks notice. This week, I launched my own website design business. It's been a years-long journey for me, but I'm so glad I did this. I'm grateful for the decision. The road ahead is unknown, and I'm excited to create a life I love and also get to spend more time with my 2 little girls who I named my business after. Here's my website, like it's just little things like that. That being said, I'm looking to book clients who need a website. I'm offering 50% off to the first 3 clients. Thank you for your support. And it worked because, and you're going to go in groups, and I could put the same post in other groups and one person will like it. But this one did take off. And I booked 5 clients from this one post. It kicked off my business. So the point is there's so many groups out there. So, try and try different angles for how to introduce yourself. But the focus wasn't really on selling. I probably could have even did less selling. I could have just ended it with like, I'd love to see if you have any referrals in your network for me. But I was sharing my excitement to join the community. There was an emotional component. I'm sure every mom in there was like, oh my gosh, that's what I did when I quit my business. I wanted to spend more time with my kids. I did put in a sense of urgency by offering a huge discount to my 3 clients. So I'm sure that was very effective. And it was an active and engaging community. So when you start joining Facebook groups, if you scroll through the posts and see like no one's commenting and everyone's just selling at each other, that's probably not the community. You want to join genuine groups where people are just really active in there. So keep that in mind. Okay, so I'm more than a website designer. As I mentioned, I've had over 10 years of owning different businesses, trying out different methods. I have corporate experience. I have pursued a master's in education. I come from a family of educators. I love sharing what I learn. I really love it. And I don't consider myself an expert in any, one area. I'm growing a lot. My reputation is growing and I've learned a lot. But I have experience that I can share that will help others. And so I've put all of this together in something that I've been working on for months. And I also just naturally, again, going back to like, what do people come to you for? People come to me for help with their business. I've helped friends and acquaintances not only launch websites, which is how I got into websites. I didn't know that I would ever build a business around that. I just had that skill set from my travel blogging days, and I just continued helping people for free. And then I was like, wait, this could be a business. But I've also helped friends start businesses now. After I had Ivy Land Studio, people come to me and they're like, how do I do what you're doing? Hold on, let me just drink. Okay. I haven't had a coughing fit yet, so I'm going to keep it easy. So this is my online course I just put together. It's called The Booked Out Entrepreneur, Thriving in Year 1. Now, this is really targeted. Again, we have to think about who's your ideal client and niching down, but that doesn't mean it's not applicable to other people. So I niche this down to people who have just launched a business and they're in their first year of business. But this is applicable to people who are years into business. Or getting ready to launch a business, right? That it's also very applicable to them. So this is my online course I put together. In this course, I'm going to help people identify not only the right services and offers to put out there, but I'm going to walk you through the steps in the right order to build a thriving business that consistently books clients without leading to burnout. That's a big element of all of this. I experienced some burnout in my first year, and with my background in yoga, meditation, and being a busy mom, I share a lot of skills in the last module about how to remember why you built this business and not get so absorbed in it, which is a common thread for people in their first year. So quickly walking through the modules, there's 8 modules with 2 to 3 lessons in each of them. So in the first one, we establish your values, your mission, your ideal client. If you haven't established an ideal client, you have to spend time doing that. And then I talk about the pricing strategies to really make your offers irresistible and how to not undervalue yourself. In module 2, we talk about branding, and it's not just a logo and color palette, but the story behind your business. We talk about the benefits of DIY versus designer. I give you some tips on both for that. And we talk a lot about brand voice. In module 3, it's all about websites. So how to build a website. If you have a website, I teach you how to build a website that will actually convert people into clients. We also talk about my favorite platforms, my favorite resources when it comes to websites, and I have some tutorials in here as well. And then also the benefits of DIYing versus designer. Social media is the 4th module, and we not only get an introduction into social media, but I talk about how to use social media to actually book clients. That's the theme through this, is how to book clients. You might think you have this down pat, but if you're not booking clients, this is going to be a way to refresh yourself or learn new things, discovering the right platforms. And then I have tons of free templates in here, resources for crafting a sustainable content strategy for yourself. I spent 6 years professionally doing social media, so there's a ton of information in this social media module. The 5th one is one of my favorites. This is email marketing. I have tutorials about how to create a freebie, integrate that freebie into your email list, automate things, segment your audience. There's so much in this module. The value of the course would be like in this module alone is going to help you book clients. So many people do not use email marketing the right way. And I also offer discounts to Flowdesk, the platform I use, and a tutorial on it. Module 6 is all about automation. There was someone in here who said they love automation. This is all about automation. I learned this the hard way, the long way. So I give you an introduction into every system I use in my business, the systems I recommend you integrate into your business, and how to create that seamless customer experience from start to finish. Module 7 is another favorite. I talk all about passive income. This is like something I learned a lot. This has been a passion of mine. I've taken online courses about how to create passive income in your business. If you're a service provider, you need passive income. It's the only way you will scale. You only have so many hours in a day. So you only have so much time for client work. So you need something like this course that I built, right? Something that you can sell on automation and just create wealth. I am all about go out there and make tons of money doing what you love and helping people. So we talk about how to create a passive income product. I walk you through the steps of how to figure out the right one for you and offer lots of information about how to launch it, the pre-launch, the post-launch, all of that. And then the final one is another like near and dear to my heart. It's about how to thrive, protecting yourself with boundaries, prioritizing what matters, and how to create that community around you, because entrepreneurship can be really lonely. Stephanie might not be on here, I'm not sure. But she shared this testimonial with me after taking this course. So she said, if you want to launch a business or have a business that you need to scale in order to meet your goals, you need this course to get you where you want to be in the least amount of time. She had a business idea 10 months ago, and through this course, through the content of this course, she is ready to quit her job and she's launched her business full time. It took me 10 years to get to where I am today. I kept trying and trying things all on my own. And I finally figured out the right sequence of events, tools, everything to get a business that is just thriving and healthy and booking clients, working 16 hours a week. I mean, it's been a long journey to get here. And I poured every single thing I know, every single thing I've learned, everything I've taken in other courses and invested thousands into this course. Whoops, another client said, after working with Erin, I saw my client bookings increase dramatically. I love seeing my calendar fill up with clients months in advance. So this course easily is valued at over $4,000. And I'm not trying to just be like, oh, it's valued at whatever, but really this is like having a business coach in your pocket. It's the equivalent of multiple courses. When I look out there, I don't see a course like this. There's courses on email marketing. There's courses on social media. There's courses on these little pieces, but I put everything together. So this is the first time I'm really launching this. I had a few test students who took this course, Stephanie being one of them, but this is the first time I'm launching it, and I'm keeping the doors open until September 15th, next Friday. And then I'm going to close it, and I'm going to give all my attention to the students in this course. And then I'm going to relaunch it in January, utilizing their feedback, making improvements to the course. I already want to add a module on AI and how to integrate AI into your business. So everyone who joins at this payment plan of $497 or 3 payments of $179, you'll have lifetime access, and you'll get to see anything additional that I add to the course in the future. So that's just going to keep increasing the value of this. The bonuses are there's an interactive workbook that will walk you through each lesson and actually help you take action. I teach you stuff and then I say, here's your next steps. Go do that. Then take the next module. I have started a Facebook group where I can provide ongoing support. That Facebook group will continue to grow over the years. I plan to continue relaunching this course, and people can connect and network and support each other as we go through that course. There's lifetime access to the course. I have a lot of customizable templates in there to help you through a lot of the different lessons. Social media, Instagram feed planner template, a content planning template, tutorials on all the platforms I talk about, and discount codes on the platforms I recommend, and just there's so much. And again, if you purchase now, like it's not a ploy. I really am going to increase the price because I'm going to have had more modules added to this. I'm going to have customer, client feedback and testimonials. So this is going to be something that goes up eventually. I shared everything I learned in the last 10 years. It's going to save you so much time. And then a bonus. So if you buy today, or if this is someone watching the replay, buy in the next, by the time you watch this replay, I will offer a free 1-hour coaching call to walk you through any part of your business. And my business partner, Stephanie from Highwire Studio, she's an amazing copywriter. She'll offer a consultation, 1-hour consultation on any element of your business that you need support with the copywriting piece. And I know she'll throw in so much more from that hour you spend with her. She's an incredible brand strategist. So that's all I have for you now. It's super uncomfortable to sell. This is the first time I'm doing something like this on a free webinar. So I appreciate you guys just, walking through these slides with me. I hope you got value from this course. You can connect with me at Ivy Lynn Studio if you aren't already. And so now we're going to do the Q&A. So let me stop sharing my screen. And I know there were some questions in the chat, so I'm going to scroll up, but if anybody has questions, feel free to either unmute yourself or put them in the chat. So let me scroll back and see, okay, where the questions started. Okay, so Maria, I think the first question was, you mean outbound marketing. Can you clarify what you mean by that? What do you think of HoneyBook as an online assistant? And Alyssa, what do you mean by online assistant? So HoneyBook is a great client management system. I know a lot of photographers use HoneyBook, so that would be equivalent to something like Dubsado. I haven't personally used HoneyBook except from a user's perspective. I know my wedding photographer used HoneyBook. And so it's a great system for managing contracts, invoices. I'm sure they have client portal systems, but for you with your home organization business, I think it would be great to invest in something like HoneyBook or Dubsado, or another client management system where you're not going to manually keep track of your clients, right? So you want to be able to have a system where you have all your clients' information, you enter their address, you manage their contracts. You always want to have that contract that you're sending to them. And it can also manage invoices. So they might have payment plans or just a way to pay you. So I think HoneyBook would be great, or Dubsado. Someone wrote, I use HoneyBook for my social media management and digital marketing business, and I love it. Yeah, I think that's great. Do you advise putting your pricing on your website, or more of a contact me for pricing strategy? This is a personal preference. And I think when you're first starting out and you're still kind of playing with your pricing, it's okay to say that you need to get in touch for pricing. Personally, and from everything I've learned about being a website designer, and just from a user's perspective, if I go to someone's website and I want to work with them, but I have no idea what their price is, I'm going to either imagine that their pricing is so expensive that they're afraid they're going to turn people away and I might not reach out. Or I'm going to think, wow, they're really customizing their pricing, which is maybe good or maybe bad. So I recommend putting pricing on your website. I have pricing on my website after going a lot of back and forth. You can also put a range. You could say my average client spends $750 a month on my services. So you could put a range there, and say, this is customizable. I work with my clients on their budget, but it at least gives them a ballpark of like, you're not $4,000 a month and you're not $20 a month. They're going to just kind of get a sense for where you fall. So I do recommend putting pricing and just being transparent about it. I think that just will draw the right people in and not waste your time. Hire people when you lack the time. Yes. What do you suggest for testimonials? Are written or video? Which form is good? I think it's great to get both, but video is good if you have a client that's specifically very well spoken, and will perform well on video, because they could sort of make or break the testimonial with video. So I love putting video testimonials. I have a video testimonial on let me put my sales page on here. I need to put my course sales page. If you're interested in buying it, oh my goodness. You can just check out the sales page. So you'll see, I have a video testimonial on there and it's very effective, but I think written, you just have to get from everybody, and then video, be selective about who does it for you. Okay, let me scroll back up, sorry. Where, is there any substitute to HoneyBook? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Check out Dubsado. And then Marissa said Moxie as well. That's a great thing for also joining a Facebook group in your country. You know, look up female entrepreneurs in the Pakistan area and start asking them what they're using in their country as well. So that's going to be like where you could get really good advice from a network like that. Okay, I think that was all the questions. Would love to hear one or two features you like about Flowdesk versus Constant Contact. So Flowdesk has, so I don't know how Constant Contact sets up their payment plan structuring, but Flowdesk has a one-time payment fee that everybody pays, and there's no need to upgrade that. As your audience grows, you get access to every feature in Flowdesk from the payment plan right off the bat, which I love. I appreciate that. I used to use MailChimp and they had a free version, but then if you wanted to like segment your audience, you need to pay. And if your audience grows beyond 500, you need to pay. I think that's just kind of annoying. Like, just give me every feature available so I can just start growing my audience the right way. Flowdesk also has the most beautiful customizable templates. It's just a gorgeous, I don't know, Chrissy, if you get my emails, but the templates, someone was like, oh my gosh, how do you make your email so pretty? The templates are all there for you. And it's very visually appealing. It's so easy to use, and segmenting your audience is a breeze. So I segment my audience through who's coming in through my webinar, who's coming in through a lead freebie that I created that was like a downloadable PDF guide. Who are my clients? I have them on a separate segment. So it's so easy to segment that and automate things, and you don't have to pay more as your audience grows. You don't have to pay more to segment. So I just personally love Flowdesk. And I think for like the female entrepreneur space, it's just a really great platform. What is the scheduling format for the payment plans? Can you remind me, Alyssa, are you still on here? What do you mean by that? Scheduling format for the payment plans?
I'm just going to unmute because I feel like I do not type as well as I speak. I mean, I know sometimes people will format them by like every 30 days you do payment, or they'll have it like on this specific date. Like, how, as a payment plan, like how do you have those payments spaced out, and what is the timetable for them?
Yeah. So when I do payment plans, I do it monthly. So it'll be on the same day of whenever they sign the contract. So if they sign the contract on July 15th, they'll get a payment invoice sent out to them exactly 1 month later on August 15th and then September 15th. So it's automatically sent out. I do it over weekends and weekdays. So that's how I have my Dubsado structured. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah. And, you know, depending on the price of something, I've also worked with clients on a 6-month payment plan is the biggest one I had for a website. So I just set it up in Dubsado and it's automated. It says, upon signing contract, it kicks off this invoice. And then it says 30 days later, kicks off the invoice, 30 days later, kicks off the invoice. So it's all automated. I used to do it manually, and it's just not something I recommend. Basically, I need something to put out invoicing, questionnaires, and contracts. Yes, that will be HoneyBook, Dubsado, Moxie, something like that. It can do all of those things. I use Indie, and it's been great for proposals, invoices, and contracts. Okay, Indie is another one. Yeah, Amanda, she said yes, you're a virtual assistant. And you know what, to hype up virtual assistants and anyone who has experience in systems, I hired somebody to integrate all my systems in my business. And it's one of the best things I did, because you could spend hours figuring out these platforms. And that's why I say, you're going to choose where to invest money. First, it might be a website designer. Then it might be systems. you have to spend your money where it's going to most benefit you at the time. And as you grow, as you scale your clients, you're going to realize you can't do it all manually. I got to that point. I didn't have systems right away. Chrissy might have been on here before I had systems. I was emailing her invoice. Hey, Chrissy, here's a link to Stripe. That's all automated now. And it's so awkward if people don't, pay you on time. It's like, hey, by the way, I put it on my calendar. So at some point in your business, you need to scale to systems, and it's just going to handle that for you. But I didn't do it right away because you can't invest everything right away. But I have a great systems person if you're interested, or there's, VAs on here. VAs know a lot about systems. Do you use Zapier? I do. Zapier helps connect. So Zapier is an integration tool where if two systems are not compatible with one another, you can set up Zapier. So for my online course, as an example, as people sign up for my online course, I needed to have a way for them to get into my email list. So I use Zapier. When somebody purchases an online course, I automatically zap them over to Flowdesk, and then they get added immediately to a segment called TBOE purchased. So they don't get sales emails anymore. So like I'm going to be selling, putting out sales emails for my course, but if someone buys it, I don't want them to receive more sales emails. So I immediately get them out into a segment. They already bought it. So I use Zapier for a few things. I also use Notion and Calendly. And so I use Zapier to connect a few different tools, and it's great. I think I'm on the free plan for Zapier, and it's fine. Who did you hire to integrate? Okay, so her name is Lexi, and I can send you her information. It's Collective22 on Instagram. And she's an expert at like Dubsado and Notion and a lot of those client management systems. I'll forward you her information. Any other questions? I think someone had another. I think Maria said outbound means you attract audience by email. So do you do that or just send them randomly? So when I get people onto my email list, they're coming from a variety of ways. There is just a straight sign up form on my website if they want to stay connected. If they sign up for a free class, they get put on my email list. And if there's any sort of freebie, I put them on my email list. I don't automatically put clients on my email list. They have to kind of opt in, but I do have a segment for clients. So what I do is in Flowdesk and other platforms you use, you can create workflows. So when they enter the email list, I can identify a workflow. So I put them into a welcome workflow. So they automatically get introduced to who I am. And then 3 days later, they get another email about kind of what I do. And then 3 days later, they get another email about something. Then they exit that workflow. And then like once a month, usually I'll send out an email to my whole list, just kind of letting them know what's going on. I include a link to my free Spotify. And then I kind of segment people in different ways from there. So I hope that is helpful. Okay, thank you, Marissa. Yeah, so this pretty much wraps it up. So if you have any questions, I'll stay on as long as you need me to stay here, but I'm going to stop recording this now.